speaking. It has been about a week, so technically 2 weeks since I did my last recording. Kumekuwa busy. I've been busy. Alafu ni zile 2 times and you're always saying like this week I'm not going to be so busy, like I'm not going to go hard on myself, I'm going to rest. And then the universe is like, hiyo ni story yako. I've been busy running up and down, but it has also been an exciting 2 weeks. I've been able to meet with a lot of people, interact with a lot of people in the on the professional side, and imekuwa eye-opening in a lot of ways. It has been eye-opening. But today I wanted to talk about sabotage and how I realized I wasn't grown. Because, like I said in the beginning, the first episode, and the introductory episode was the point of this podcast is to discuss things that personally I didn't know were common knowledge to everyone. So me, I thought I'm grown, I'm an adult, I've figured everything out. But nakuja kupata kwa ground vitu ni different. Now, I wanted to talk about sabotage for a number of things. One is the breakup between Hali and DDG, and I'll go into depth why ili trigger a conversation. And the other one is workplace politics. Here and there, you start observing a few things zenye has it make sense. And for people who are my target for this podcast, who have never experienced these things, I hope through my narration today, you're going to learn how to be on the lookout for them. Wenye wanajua hizi story, you can give us your comments, you can give us your discussion. But for someone like me, I didn't know these things were common knowledge. I didn't know. So mi nakuja kurealize I'm not grown. I've not figured it out. I only thought being sabotaged normally inafaa happen from an enemy or someone who doesn't like you. But nimekuja kurealize that even the people that you can say they love you, the people who are your safety nets, au pia ndo the saboteurs. Like they're the ones who can actually do more harm than even the enemies, because normally when you're around your enemies, your guards are always up, like you're always on the lookout for something negative. But with your friends, with your family, with the people that you love, you don't realize just how it is. So let's see the definition of sabotage. Of course tunatumia msema kweli, Google mwenyewe. Deliberately destroy, damage, or obstruct something, especially for political or military advantage. So hiyo ni setup ile ya country wise, political field, vitu kama hizo. But in urban slang inasema, Urban Dictionary, sabotage is the deliberate action aimed at weakening an enemy through subversion, obstruction, disruption, and or destruction. So like it's the deliberate action targeted towards an enemy. So all along in my life, I always thought sabotage will come from enemies, like people that you already know. Like let's say for example, when I was growing up in the orphanage, kuna watu who used to go out of their way, kids to out of their way to tell stories that weren't actually true, ama kukuwekelea things that you didn't even do to begin with, so that they can inaitagwa carry favors with the people that were managing the home, and they used to get rewarded. Like they used to be given things that sisi watoto wabaya we weren't given, and it's because mtu ameenda akakuharibia jina. Let's say you are talking to them about something, and you said something very as simple as, I don't like this person, I don't like the way they executed whatever they did. But yeye ataenda kupeleka huko ikiwa such a negative thing, and you were just expressing your opinion like whatever happened in this case hainimeki any sense. So it's not ile ill-willed, like I hate this person, I wish they would die, I wish their family whatever. but itaenda kupelekwa huko, imeongezewa chumvi, roiko na nini. So by the end of the day unapata in that context I understood what it meant to be sabotaged, because after I realized what was going on, I knew who my enemies were. So I knew, like, at the end of the day, nilikuwa najua huyu, I will tell her something deliberately because she's going to report it. Na unakuja kujua it is this person because it's the only person you spoke to. So I knew and I understood that perspective. When we are talking about people that mulikuwa mabeshte then mukakosana, then they go out of their way to maybe make you come off to a lot of people like you're such a bad person. You're like, already we know this is war. This is war. And for such people, for me it was sort of okay. Like, you go do whatever you're going to do, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, so that at the end of the day we get revenge. And the reason I'm saying for such people it was okay, because after you've gone over the anger, especially if you knew your limits and you didn't go under the belt, it's easy to reconnect with this person and be like, hey, by the way, ujinga tulifanya, it wasn't necessary. Like, we didn't have to do all that. So let me tell you, wacha niingie in this world and nakuja kurealize where things are different. Now, the first one I wanted to talk about, ile nilisema Hali and DDG, I wanted to talk about relationships. Something that is hitting home late, like inanigonga late into my adulthood, is that someone can go out of their way to woo you, to have you as a partner, so that they can ruin your life. I didn't know. I thought maybe mmeingia into a relationship with someone and it didn't work out, and that's it. Like, that is fine, because I don't think I can waste my time trying to woo someone so that nimuingize box so that I can ruin his or her life. Like, hiyo kitu hainikliki, because I don't have that time. Like, who has hiyo time? Inatoka wapi? The things that I think I need to do by the end of my life, I'm not even a quarter. So I can't start adding those shenanigans on top of it. But hiyo ndio kitu nimekuja kurealize. And during my realization, I'm talking to my friends like, any people can do this. And everyone is like, yeah, everyone knows that is common knowledge. Like, si kila mtu mwenye anakupenda. Kuna watu wanataka tu kukeep hapo with them so that nothing good can happen in your life. So why am I using Hali and DDG? In the beginning of their relationship, people were continuously telling Hali that the DDG was below her league. Like, he was hawakuwa on the same level. And somehow I was feeling like, isn't that a negative thing per se? Like, I know about levels na nini, I'm not that naive, but at the same time I thought it was some sort of negative, because even in my case, in as much as tunasema you want this and that in the spouse you're supposed to be with, you personally, you know what type of spouse you want, ama what type of partner you want. So me, all along, watu wakiongelelea hizi vitu, I was like, yes, I can see what you're trying to say here. But at the same time, if Hailey is choosing this person, then this is their business. Like, ini ngori yake. At the end of the day, she's the one to deal with it. Because I'm sure the people I might choose to date, the people around me might not agree with what they are. So, all along, like, hii discussion happen, I've been, unaonaga ile meme ya kale is it kapanya or kadogi, kanachungulia kwa dirisha as drama is going on around the kadogi. So that was me kwa hii drama yote. Like, I'm very involved but keeping my distance and not giving my opinion per se. I'm like, let's see, are these people, our watu wenye wanashinda wakiambia Hali like, don't be with this guy, don't be with this guy, don't date this guy is below your league, this guy is not worth your time, this guy is, And they were not even talking about it like financially, technically. They were talking about maybe the people they appeal to. Hali, for me, nilikuwa naona akiwa na a very bright future, and it was during your time when she was acting like the Little Mermaid. But like nilikuwa naona akiwa on that trajectory. At the same time, I didn't know who DDG was, and I didn't know his trajectory. So I was like, if these people like each other, see, that's their business. But then again, recently they broke up, and it was after she had gotten her kid, like amepata ball, ampata mtoi. She has lost a number of works. I don't think she can come out and say it, but according to ile trajectory alikuwa ameanza nayo, the gigs angekuwa amepata kama hangekuwa na mtoi zingekuwa different. And it's unfortunate we live in this world where a woman cannot pursue her dreams if she's pregnant or whatever, because at the end of the day, your baby needs you. Like, it's unfortunate we live in that world, but we do. So when people are all along telling Harley, please don't hata kama ni nini, like, you just have whatever relationship you're having, but don't take this thing too seriously. We don't think this guy is good for you. This guy is walikuwa wanamuita clout chaser. This guy is what can we call him? He was ni mtu anapenda drama and creating chaos here and there, and that was not the image that Harley had portrayed. So all along hii time yenye wamekuja ku break up, and then Harley ako na mtoi, ndio inaanza kuni click like, was this a deliberate thing? Was like, did this guy go out of his way because he knew she liked him to make sure ame ruin, sort of, because Harley still has the nini to, she still has the time to rebuild her career. We kwambia, the Kikuyu in me anataka kutokelezea kabisa. She still has the time to rebuild her career, but hiyo kusabotage ni kama sabotage her trajectory. So I'm like, was this a deliberate thing? And then I started going back kwa zile discussions nilikuwa nachungulia kwa dirisha, and once in a while you'd hear ati sijui DDG was calling his ex while Harley was there and telling the ex that alikuwa na miss. DDG would akiona Harley ana take photos, taking photos with her co-stars and looking giddy and whatever, would say that he was feeling jealous. Like every time Harley was making some sort of achievement or something that was making her more noticeable, DDG would do something else to try and divert attention, ama to try and humble Harley. And sasa hapo wewe ndo unaanza kucalculate, and 1 + 1 + 1 + was this thing a deliberate thing? Like, did he go out of his way to make sure that I'm humble huyu dem? At the end of the day, we would never know how she actually ended up getting pregnant. But at the same time, Harley is from a very religious background, according to the stories that we've had. So, unaweza pata at the end of the day, this is their business, but I'm just speculating. At the end of the day, you might find that DDG went out of his way to make sure Harley got pregnant, knowing that she would not get rid of the baby, or something like that. I don't know. But imenifungua macho to a whole new world where I'm starting to look at people with side eyes, like, are you sure you want to date me? Ama, are you sure you just want to sabotage me? Of course, my career is not even close to where Harley's is, but I think I have a future. I think there's a future ahead of me, and I wouldn't want someone to see that you have uko on a certain trajectory, and then they decide to come into your life to think that they can humble you, ama they can sabotage your life in one way or another. By the way, hiyo yako sabotajiwa. Anyway, that one in relationship, like, hiyo ndio kitu imenifungua macho somehow. The other one under relationships as well is people who you're in a relationship with someone, good intentions on both sides, And then maybe down the line, one of you starts having a better life than maybe the other. I'm talking about maybe your husband gets a job promotion na vitu kama hizo. Mostly for men, if they do that, mostly, I'm not talking about everyone else, but mostly, their wives are always supportive. They're happy because tunaambiago pesa ya bwanako ni yenu mkiwa wawili. So akipata promotion, akipata a better job, it's like the whole family is elevated, and the sabotage necessarily doesn't happen from the wife's side unless wanataka kudivorce na nini, and that is a topic for the next point. But kitu nimekuja kuambiwa na watu na also to learn is, if the wife starts getting promoted, earning more money than the man, and this is a societal thing, even without the wife acting differently, even without the wife showing off to the husband, like huyu dem hakuna kitu yenye anafanya enye ni inaitwaje, yenye ni like ya to show up to the husband, like unaanza kumwonyesha you're better than the husband. Like nothing like that is happening. She's just getting promoted. She's just happy that she's getting more money. She's even taking out maybe the husband to different locations to celebrate. Wanaenda vacations na nini, she starts taking more of the bills in the house na vitu kama hizo. I didn't realize that men, when they find themselves in such a scenario, that most of them make it their mission to humble their wives. By that, what do I mean? You have your promotion that is happening, and maybe it might require you to travel more. They make sure now it's the time that they want to have another baby. And wanatumia watoi kukutrap, they want another baby. Ama they want you to do something else. Ama they want to divert your attention to something else. Ama sasa they start creating chaos in the house. Na hii observe even with my own eyes, and I've always told the men in my life who've started acting weirdly when their wives or girlfriends were doing better. I'm like, no, you need to be supportive. Hurt anything, it doesn't hurt your masculinity in any way if the person is earning more, especially when this person still respects you, still takes care of you, still anakupenda, but wewe unaanza kufeel insecure, you start being chaotic, dramatic, kelele kila wakati when you're in public with this person, because maybe you're feeling some kind of way, you start being rude or aggressive towards her, and you like una feel need ya kumuonesha you're still the man of the house by your aggression na nini. At the end of the day, unapata most women in such scenarios, when they love their man, they might opt out of the job completely, like resign. They might decide to focus on the house, ama they might, unapata mtu dem ako stressed tu kabisa continuously. Like people continue, men, those men that feel insecure, they continuously try to humble their wives if they are doing better in whatever field they are in, if they're being acknowledged, if they're being given attention. When you wanna feel insecure about themselves, they will take, like hiyo kitu inawawasha to the point where they start sabotaging you. Alafu hizi sabotage za the people that know you, the people that are around you, they are so quiet and so silent. By the time you realize what is happening, uko na ulcers zimefika kwa mgongo, because you never know. You're the one who ends up feeling like, when do you go crazy? Because I'm sure when people were telling Harley, don't do this, don't date this guy, don't have a baby with this guy, don't give your life to this guy, I'm sure she wasn't, her eyes were so filled with love, they couldn't see what other people were seeing, including myself. I couldn't see it because I was like, if this is what you want, if this is your caliber, you weshikilia nini uendelee. So unapata even in relationships, in marriages, these things are happening. And for me, like I keep saying, I didn't realize, because I thought if I'm getting acknowledged, mimi ni ule mse wa mdomo kubwa, if I'm getting a reward, if I'm getting a gift for something, I will come home to the person that I feel safe around, and niende kama nimwambie, by the way, I got this, that, and that, and the next. And people out here, especially women, are telling me, if you're in a marriage and you start feeling like you're achieving more, you're being acknowledged more, feature. And I'm like, okay, isn't okay. See, this is my other half. Si anafaa kujua. No, they're saying no. Hide. Don't let your man know how much you're making, especially if it's more than he's making. So you don't let your man know that you've gotten promoted at work. Don't let, cause hizi vitu they start huko ndani ndani. And I'm like, okay, I still have a long way to go in terms of growth. Bado sijamea, bado I'm learning. Well, these things, man. Anyway, okay, sips coffee. Now, the other one I wanted to talk about, and this one, I think I mentioned apo mapema kiasi, near friendships. Your closest friends can also be the people that are sabotaging you. Like I said, mi nimekuwa na rose-colored glasses for quite some time, but nilirealize relationships nimekuja kurealize towards at the end of my 20s, but friendship I learned in my early 20s. And it's so funny because I didn't see it when it was happening for me. I didn't see it when it was happening. That you'd want to date a certain person, and someone would go out of their way to make you come off as a unworthy person for that person that you're eyeing. Like just say madam we talk, like you always telling your friend, hey, by the way, I saw so and so. He's quite hot, he's quite this, he's quite that. And maybe this guy, even the guy that you're saying is hot, goes behind your back to your friend. And you're like, okay. Then this friend, instead that akuambie that this guy is approaching me, ama a step back, ama achane na hiyo story, they will go out with this guy and make sure this guy knows that you are a horrible person. Like you're not worth being in a relationship with. Let me give a very slight example that I didn't realize. When I think I was in Form 4. No, Form 2. Nikiwa Form 2, hiyo ndio time tulikuwa tumefunzwa about principles, women with purpose. You unaangalia tu your goal. You don't want any distractions. You don't want anything to divert your attention from your goals. So, mi nikaenda home. He was quite a hot guy, but by then he was in university. So akakuja and he's like, hey, sasa nimekuona and whatever, hizo vitu zote, and I think you're quite attractive, can you be my girlfriend? And I'm like, I'm a woman of purpose. Akizi ndo vitu nilikuwa namwambia. I'm a woman of purpose and I have principles and I have my targets. I cannot date someone right now. I'm still in school. And then later on I went and I told my friend, hi, so and so was catering me, and nilim turn down, but I still feel bad because he's quite a beautiful man. Alafu tukiwa high school, like all people could talk about were the people they were dating, the people they were hanging out with, the people they were going out with. So I wanted such stories, but at the same time, given my background, I was like, no, I can't risk it. I can't risk having a baby and ending up in this same village that I'm trying to escape. So I was like, no. Tell me why. A few days later, my friend is so drunk. We had gone out and Nini. She's so drunk, like she's completely almost blackout drunk, throwing up everywhere. And the person she is saying she wants to see and she wants to be taken to is the person that was chinjiaring me. So I'm like, eh? Very interesting. Because last I checked, he was chinjiaring me. How did you guys even end up together? And then to make matters worse, this guy changed his attitude towards me. Even after I told him no, we were still talking, we were still saying hi to each other, but like a period in between, he changed his attitude towards me. Na si watu wenye tumelelewa vile tumelelewa, we are very keen on picking up hizo social cues. Like if someone mood imeshift, tone yake imeshift, like the slightest thing can happen and we notice because you're always on survival mode. So I'm like, okay, 1 plus 1 is no longer 2. This math ain't mathing. Anyway, later on, nikakuja kujua they were actually in a relationship and they were hanging out and they were doing whatever they were doing. And I was like, okay, of course I was hurt. And even in that moment, I was like, okay, if this is what he wants, if this is what she wants, well and good. Wacha tuendelee na life yetu vile iko. But hiyo kitu, I think subconsciously iliniweza, cause I don't think after that we ever had any relationship ama we had a relationship that was similar to what we had with my friend before this sabotage it happened. Let me call it a sabotage. Before it happened, like we never went back to what we used to have between us. And I didn't notice until she pointed it out, like, hey, una act different when ulienda so and you started ukaanza kuringa. So I'm like, kwani nimechange? Cause I didn't realize. And I was venting the same to someone, and I was like, no, I don't know. But if I think about it, where things changed is when I learned she was dating the person that had gingered me, and I went to her and I talked to her about it. And even she didn't tell me that this guy even gingered her. She didn't even tell me they were in a relationship like later on. So I think kutoka hapo, my mind too really switch off, because I'm like, okay, if this is the type of friend you are, then okay, kila mtu apambane. But you're in terms of friendship, like your closest friends, that's when I was remembering this story, that's when I realized even your closest friend, because you alikuwa like she's even today. I still regard her as family, like ni a sister. She was like a sister to me. So I'm like, okay, even with these people it can happen. Then the other nini in terms of friendship, and I think I mentioned it kwa a certain TikTok. Kuna dem alikuwa amepost how she goes out with her friend, like vile tu tunakuwaga I have a friend, the friend has a friend, and the friend's friend is not my friend. So whenever she goes out with her friend to see her friend's friend, uh, and I noticed too some weird tone and language, like this friend's friend ni kama hampendi na nini. And initially, even me in my life, I would think maybe it's because we are competing for this person's attention. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't sitaiweka ikiwa ati something I need to look into. I'll be like, if you're going to hang out with so and so, I can't come because she's your friend na me had to click. So when we are hanging out, we just hang out, the two of us. When you're hanging out with a friend, I'm good. We don't have to be friends with your friend unless sasa sisi to click kivyetu with a friend, and then life moves on. So this chick alianza kunotice tuto vitu na nini, and she thought it's maybe because they were competing too, like this is a friend na nini, you're just competing vitu kama hizo. But for her, she's not like me. I notice such things, I'll step back. Like I won't even hang out with you. I won't, like, hata tukipatana tuko kwa the same location, I'll try my best to stay away. She decided to now start gifting the other friend, kumuonesha like she has no ill intention with them being friends. So anamletea to gifts, anambaia to shopping here and there, vitu kama hizo kidogo kidogo. And every time that friend's friend would anaichukulia hizo vitu zikiwa negative. So kwa hiyo TikTok she was asking like what can she do, like what is happening and what can she do to improve this, because hata yeye mwenyewe anaona hiyo kitu ikimchanganya. And I realized when I was going through people's comments na nini, people were telling her your friend's friend is not the issue, it's your friend. Because ni nini yo anaambia your friend, anaambia her friend about you so that this friend can have this attitude. When I was reading through those comments, I remembered one time I left my house. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I mean, nikikasirika ni ule mwenye hata sionagi. Like nilienda nikapanda gari na nikaenda kwa my aunt's place. When I got there, and hata nile tu after salamu, I'm like, hey auntie, this and that has been happening and I've been noticing for quite some time. Like 2 years now, nimekuwa nikinotice this thing happening over and over again. Kitu ilikuwa imetrigger, a friend's friend came to my house and mi ni ule wanaitagwaje barefoot. Like you don't enter my house with shoes. Even the friend knew na nini vitu kama hizo. But this friend's friend came na akakuja na ilikuwa tu na nini like attitudes na nini, ni msee anapenda ku snide comments, always calling me a tribal name that haikuwa, unaona kama vile mtu anaweza kuita Mluya and unajua penye hiyo origin ya hiyo jina imetoka. But this person, I don't know them. So why are you calling me a different tribe? Najua for me naambiaga na watu nakaa Mkamba, sijui nakaa Mluya. Hata kuna time nilikuwa nimesema I'll start calling myself Nafula or something. I don't know, whatever Luya name. But during that period, I also had a friend who was Luya na tulikuwa tunaenda kufanana. So every time we were going somewhere and she introduces herself and aseme yeye ni Mluya na nini, people would automatically think mi ni Mluya. So hata tukikutana na mtu aniambie sasa Mluya or something, it never used to offend me because I know the origin of it. Kuna watu wanasema naenda kukaa Mkamba, I don't know why. But most of them ni wenye tu tunakutana kwa streets and nini, hey so and so, mbona unajiita jina ya Kikuyu, is your dad Kikuyu, is your mom Mkamba or something. So mse kama huyo kwa hiyo interaction, later on if we meet and this person is like sasa Mkamba, I won't get offended because I know the origin of it. This guy, I didn't know him, like sikuwa namjua na ni mtu amekuwa akinionyesha attitude for quite some time. We don't have any relationship. I only know you because you're friends with my friend. So amekuwa akinionyesha tu attitude all along. And then he started calling me that name. And then let me give you the context of it. Ama niacha kupeana context because mwenye anasikiza hata mwenye anajua story atajua ni nani. Anyway, so he started calling me those weird names. So on this day, when he came to my house and he just walked in with his viatus na ni chafu, na aki nyumba ukiona vile iliachwa kama inakaa. Anyway, so me after ametoka, I clean my house and sasa nikatoka kama nimejama, and then I went to my aunt and I'm like, this thing has been happening and it ikuanza juzi, like ni kitu imekuwa happen for some time, and the way this guy has come in, kuna huge chunk of the information I've left out. If I gave more information you'd understand, but if I give more information people are going to know who it is. So there's this guy nini imekuwa happen na hizi vitu zote, and I don't understand, like I completely don't understand where his hatred inatoka. Because all along I thought we were cool. For me, we were just my friend's friend. I'm her friend as well. So kama tuna meet na ni ile limited occasion, I'm cordial. So I don't understand kwenye hizi vitu zinatoka. And my very wise aunt told me, it's your friend. Hizi vitu zote zinatoka from your friend. There's something that this friend of yours is telling these other friends about you, so that whenever they meet you ama nini, unapata wako wako na hiyo aggression towards you because these people don't know you and you don't have any interaction that you can say eti mulikosania hapa na pale. So it's your friend. And hiyo kitu iliniklikia hiyo time, like umewai kuwa mahali your head feels like it's in a fog, it's ni moto, unasikia kama ni oven, and then someone says something and then you feel that cooling effect all over your brain, like wow, this makes sense. I didn't know why I did, like sijui mbona sikujua, like sikufikiria like it can be the friend, but when my aunt I was like wow, this makes a lot of sense. And I've had issues with that friend, But even then I would never, hata kama nimeenda kuambia sijui my aunt to seek advice on whatever issue we are having with a friend, I need to know how to navigate it, vitu kama hizo, I would never tarnish her name to the point where ati akimmeet my aunt ama akimmeet my relatives ama akimmeet my friends, other friends, itakuwa na any negative interaction. Like I'm like, yes, we are going through this patch and I don't understand why she's doing this na nini nini. And then my aunt tells me either you can get involved or you can step out, ama the other friend says mi simuelewagi pia vitu kama hizo, and then you're like, yeah, ama wacha tu tuone vile itakuwa, let's see how it goes, and that is that. But haitakuwa to the extent where any of my friends would feel the need to go out of their way to make that friend feel unwelcome in any aspect. Kuna beshte yangu pia apendi that friend of mine, and I have every interaction they've had has been, hata kama ampendi, imekuwa respectful and inclusive. Like she won't do or say something to exclude that friend from a conversation. Imekuwa too inclusive na nini, but later on the friend will be like, I really don't, I don't vibe with your friend. I'm trying to connect with her, but I connect kwa kichwa. And I'm like, it's okay. Even you have friends that I don't connect with. But either way, even if I'm around them, I'll try to be as inclusive as possible. So unapata, this other friend of mine was probably actively trying to sabotage any sort of relationship I would have with these other friends. Na watu wanakuwaga wakifanya hivyo, na haina shida if you don't want your friends to mix. Like I said, mimi mwenyewe, if I notice your friend is acting weird, but see, yeah, this friend was being aggressive, like weird or uncomfortable around me. You notice when you're having a conversation, someone is not inclusive na nini. Normally I make it very clear, like even if I want to come and visit you, hi, uko lini, are you alone, or who and who, if you tell me you're having friends over, who and who is coming, and the friends that know me will be like, yeah, so and so is coming. I know mwenye unataka asikue na hayuko, like you can come, these other people you've clicked with, and like you can make those boundaries, because you don't need to force adults into a friendship that they don't want. And for me, I try to make it very clear, if I'm having this friend who doesn't like the other friend over, I won't try and force the other friend to show up to be around us, because eventually anaweza end up feeling hurt with maybe being left out of a conversation or something like that. So you can establish these boundaries. You don't need to go and make someone look awful to other people, ama ikae ni kama sijui anakubeba vibaya to other people, and ujaweka hiyo boundary. Because with this friend of mine, I wished so much she would step in and tell this guy to stop doing what he was doing. I wish ange step up, ama hata aniambie, hey, by the way, this guy so and so, he doesn't like you because of this, that, and the next. Because maybe hata all along I've been carrying this anger, but maybe she's not even involved in any way. Maybe she's not even involved in any way, but I don't even want to ask, because sasa hiyo ni kitu ili happen kitambo, and all along I've been like, wacha tu to have a limited conversation, because if you're making your friends hate me to that extent, are we really friends? But anyway, maybe one day, one time, we're going to have that conversation, and maybe she can clear up some of the things. But sasa hiyo kitu, like with, na ilikuwa with a number of her friends, they were, I don't know, sijui ni nini ilikuwa inaendelea with a number of her friends. They used to act very weird around me. So man, hiyo ni mirambo kabisa. Yes, even in friendship na nini, people can do that, and they can sabotage you very well. The other one, I didn't want to end this episode, nilikuwa nataka iishe na 40 minutes, but naona we are already at 40. Sikuwa nataka to not talk about workplace sabotage, and hizo zingine maybe ni porojo, but this workplace sabotage is very, very real. I thought as adults kila mtu ana mind shughuli yake na anaendelea na life yake. Like you go to work, you get your coins and then you go back home. Like you don't need to get invested into anyone else's life na nini. Kumbe, well, workplace sabotage is a very, very, very real thing. And I wish bosses, ama the people who are in charge. Yeah. Anyway, not being grown is realizing that even the people that you think are grown are not grown. I wish bosses na nini would. We, hizi moshene wanaendaga kupatiwa in whatever corners they're being given the motionnaires. I wish they would be like, no, you're talking about so and so. Well and good. Muite. Let's have this conversation when this other person that is being talked about is here as well. I'll give a few instances of where I felt like I was sort of being sabotaged. And the first one, all my younger people joining the workforce, please open your ears. The first one, nilikuwa naive. I had just started working. So I didn't know the intricacies of the job. Na nini. And the person who was supposed to help me out took advantage of me not being me being naive. She took advantage of it. By that, what do I mean? I was telling someone who joined our workforce the other day. When I started, ilikuwa ni job ya sales or whatever. So the first week I was told to go out, give out flyers to different companies, different circles, vitu kama hizo within Nairobi, vitu kama hizo. And I didn't have business cards for quite some time. Like nilikuwa bila business cards for I think a month. Yeah, a month or two. Nilikaa bila kutengenezwa business cards. I'm so naive, I didn't know I needed business cards. So I never even asked. So imagine I used to go marketing with this person's business cards. Alafu nakuja kuulizwa later on, how is your progress? What feedback are you getting? Vitu kama hizo. And I'm like, I'm not getting any feedback. How am I supposed to get feedback? Kumbe, where I was going, the people I was leaving the flyers and the business cards with, of course, which number are they going to call? Of course. Of course. So, unapata at the end of the first 3 months, you're trying to do your review of hizo areas zote unapata, you don't have a concrete answer. Man, I felt, hey, but that one was my first sort of sabotage. So I was telling this person who joined our workforce, yes, we do currently business cards hazijatoka na nini, but the order was already made, they were being processed. Here are the flyers. You're going outside, write your number. Hata kama ni felt pen na nini, write your number in huge whatevers, so that whenever this person that you left the flyers with, this person that you interacted with, they have your contact ama they have your name, so that whenever they call back, they want a second meeting, they can ask for you specifically, so that at the end of the month you get to know, I talked to these people, these few converted, this didn't, and why they did not, vitu kama hizo. Then at the end of the day, you know your progress. If you asked for the feedback, you know what to give. Me, I didn't know. Nani self. That one was the first one. The second one ilikuwa tu a workplace, toxic workplace. Mtu tu akona hasira zake, akona nini zake, and ni hawa watu bitter. They spread bitterness to everyone who is working around them. And the sabotage for me came in when we were given a supervisor. And sales ni field work. Yenye niko ni field work. So it's not unheard of that if someone is going, let's say for example, mesema mtu anaenda maybe place kama Thika, and you have a client in Thika, you can tell that person, hey, pitia client so and so, they want to give us their order, unikujie na LPO yake. I'm not going to Thika today, but the client is there today. If you can, mpitie, uchukue, you just bring me the LPO. Do you know this supervisor? Nani my supervisor? That was the conversation that we had. Nata akienda nikamwambia, si ati unaenda kwa new client, this is already my client, wanataka tupatiane LPO. I don't have the fare, I've not been given my allowance, please go pick the LPO, come with it. And the reason walikuwa inahitajika a physical thing, they also needed to take a sample to the boss so that the boss can give the final conversation, the final nini go ahead. But the LPO was out na nini, kila kitu was set, ni boss tu a confirm this is the shoe that he wants, that's it. Do you know, ili turn around nikaambiwa ti client ni wa my supervisor. Sa hiyo 6 months, 6 months we've been battling with this client for yeye ndio aingie box. 6 months we kuendea tu LPO ndio amekuwa client wako. Do you know he came and presented it like his client? And then it was a very wise sabotage because he didn't tell me. Mi alikuja na akanipatia LPO and we did the nini, and I even did the delivery and the client was happy. The payment, I'm the one who followed up na ikalipwa. But alienda akaambia my boss's boss, like our boss, the directors, that this was his work. And I didn't, sikuambiwa, no one told me. Hata commission na nini, I used to get my commission from every transaction with that company. So nikikuja time yenye naenda ku raise nini ya kuongezewa do, the nini, my huyo demo finance, the bitter woman, she's like, but this is not your client, this is so and so's client. Namuonesha another client, she's like, no, this is so and so clients. So every client that I brought in when I got this supervisor, amewaeka wote kama wake. Hiyo kitu hadi wa leo inakuwaga imenikasirisha. And after she told me that, I didn't stay there for a month. I was like, hii ndio game yenye mnacheza. That's it, I can't deal with this. And I resigned. They thought I had gotten another job na nini. I just resigned because I was like. And then the funny thing is, even after she told me that wameongeza do, like si ati wameongeza do, sorry. Like the nani took over my clients. I went to my supervisor and I was like, fine, sema umechukua clients wangu, that's okay. But so ndo unitetee at least niongezewe do. Like, my retainer is still the same as it was when I joined the company almost 3 years ago. Can I get a few more coins on this? And he's like, yes, I'll go sijui and work for, I'll go and talk to so and so. And a week later amuuliza, have you talked to the guy? Ati alisema ati hapana, lazima aoneshwe the clients that you've brought in. Kambia, you've already taken my clients, can't you go now? Hawa wase walikuwa wanaongezewa do. At the end of the day walikuwa wanaongezewa do. Kama huyo demo finance, I knew her salary had doubled. Na tuliingia na yeye, but her salary had doubled. Na ni ile kudouble inafika sijui 100 plus. And you're not even making 30k in a month. So I was like, okay. And then this supervisor was almost making sijui 200 and what a month. So I'm like, you guys cannot even sit with the boss. Muambie, mi hata sitaki kuongezewa mingi, nataka kuongezewa 15k pekee. Niongezewe tu just for those 3 years I've been here. I've been ilikuwa during COVID. I've been your salesperson. Au wengine wote wametoka. I've been the one who is bringing these clients na nyinyi wenyewe mkawachukua. Si eti hamjui si wenyu, mnajua si wenyu, but you took them over and you reported to your boss as your clients. So mwezekana yeye hata mumwambie, mumuingiza box, you say this person has been working very hard and we think of even promoting her, because I was telling them I've been here in the same position for 3 years. At least muni promote something, just something. Do something for me. And they're like, no, he said sijui what, and the next. And I was like, okay, this is your game, this is what you're doing, fine. So kwa hiyo sabotage ya workplace, I just left. But I wished I knew how I would have gone about hiyo sabotage nilifanyiwa. Because I wish even in because tulikuwa group moja na our boss's boss, the director ya watu wa sales. I wish I had even posted my client list there. Like, after nimejua what was happening, I wish I had posted my client list there. But sasa hiyo ingekuwa like a year later because they never told me. Mi nilijua time yenye na follow up on an appraisal. I wish I had posted my client list there. Tangu kitambo, like huyo director akaya kijua these are my clients. Because I felt very, very offended. Anyway, but these things are happening. And not even offended, I felt sidelined because I wasn't expecting, like, sisi wote ni watu wazima. And then the person who is stealing my clients is in his 60s. So I'm like, you already, ni kuretire, una retire. So let me at least have a career. Anyway, so your workplace, sabotage. The final one, and this is a recent thing, and I've also been noticing pole pole too, like inani click to pole pole, ni even the people you're working with. People are always saying online, your colleagues are not your relatives, your colleagues are not your friends. And you can, of course, you can make friends because here and there I've made friends, colleagues who are friends na nini, and it's fine. But kuna hii breed ya watu yenye I don't know what they've gone through because I also noticed it with my first boss, and they think everyone everywhere is out to get them. So what they do in return is try as much as they can to sabotage you. Mi nimeishi kuwa na kimbelembele, mi nimeishi kuwa mse outspoken. I'm the person who is always eager to help out before you even ask for help. If I see something that could benefit you, I'm the first person to share it with you. The first person to tell you, don't use this route, in your shortcut. Don't do this, do the other one. But unapata kuna hii breed ya watu yenye you try, especially if you're managing them, you try and tell them, let's do things this way. Mtavutana for like a month. And it's something very simple. And you're like, fine, you do the thing the way you want it to do. And then a few days later, you're like, did you manage to do that thing? Apana, I was sijui doing what? Sijui I was doing the other thing, and I wasn't able to do A, B, C, D. I wanted you to help. And I'm like, see, a month ago, I told you to do this thing this way. And we went through all that. And then you decided you knew better. You went to do things the way you wanted to do them. Now, you're saying you wanted my help, but not until I was following up with you did you raise the issue of wanting help. Hii math ina math wapi? And then, so like I noticed, nilianza kunotice tu pole pole, but I'm like, I'm learning this person, so I won't give it much thought. 3 months later, same things gonna happen here and there, same things. And then, I napenda life easy. I love an easy life. So when I notice you're doing hizo vitu, I'll just step back. But I was talking to a friend of mine who has been in management for almost now 10 years. And I was like, hey, this and that is happening. A book give me insight how you deal with such things. Because me, honestly, I'm done. I don't think I can engage with this person in this line. And she was like, welcome to management. Every time you're managing people, kuna mtu mwenye atafikiria either they know better than you, which is okay. For me, I think it's okay because I'm also the person who thinks I know better than my bosses. But what I do is I table my idea with them. If I make a decision or something, I tell them, I was thinking this, that, and the next. What are your thoughts? And my boss might even tell me, well, this might sound like a good idea, it is not going to work out because of A, B, C, D. Because they are gonna more experience than me. Like I make sure I table them. Hata kama hiyo siku aski kuongea, hiyo siku even if it's whatever time and this idea needs to be executed very fast, I'll call and say, I was thinking that, and the next. Can we do this? And my boss, even I think to some extent, aliniambia, can we talk tomorrow? Can we talk tomorrow during the day? I was like, okay, sawa, no problem. But I make sure I table the idea with them. And see, angali ati they're out to get me. Why would they even care? Because even in my position, if I had people that I'm managing, why would I even care ati I'm out to get them? Hiyo kitu haini click, because I'm thinking if they even shine, wanaonekana there's something they're doing, I'm shining with them because I'm supposed to be their leader. If watu wana execute kazi vizuri, if things are running smoothly, see, that's the point. Why would I be out to get you? But I also understand, like I said in the beginning, I had bosses here and there when they try as much as they can to claim credit on the things that you're doing. And I don't nini personally, I don't have that time. Vitu zenye nataka in this life by now, hey, I should be in the White House in the US. Mi tutakimbizania na wewe hapo iti a certain position. My mind iko I should be an ambassador or a diplomat in something. I don't have time to sabotage the people that I'm managing. I want them to outshine. I keep telling one of the ladies that we work with, I want you to dress in a way that you step somewhere, you become almost the authority of that place. So that when you say you work for so and so, even our watu they're like, wow, this is good. That is what I want for my people. If you have an idea, if you need it executed, niambie, this is what you want, this is what you want done. And I'll be like, in case I can support you here and there and this. But this is your project. Do it. What is the big deal? But anyway, like I was saying, unapata kuna watoto wako, so they make your work, you're managing them more difficult than it should be because wako in that mentality of you're out to get them. If you tell them you need it here, if you tell them you need to do this, inakaa ni kama mnaanza kuvutania something that is not there. So when this friend of mine telling me welcome to management, she gave an example of a few people that she has managed before. And during our discussion, she told me that some people, when they think they are better than you, or they know better than you, they try to make your work so difficult so that you can step back or step in. That is the plan. Like they've already established you're their enemy and they are coming for you. So they will do everything. Because kama ya example alikuwa napeana, kuna watu wa ana manage, they will never deliver their work. They are always underachieving the targets. They're always hizo vitu zote. So that every time you report, when you're doing your reports na nini analysis of the people that you're managing, your bosses are like, and why is there a gap here? Why is this not working? Why is this? Because wewe ndio unaenda kuwa the bad guy, and that is their point. So this chick that she was managing eventually started achieving more, and she got, I think alipata the performance whatever was really good, ilipita kila mtu, like she was the best performed under this friend of mine. And the friend was so happy because hata yeye anaonekana amefanya a huge inaitwaje, like amepata a huge achievement. And do you know, this chick, instead of coming to my friend and saying, thank you for being patient with me and helping me work through this, kanakuja kumwambia eti najua huko unatarajia ni achieve hii. And my friend was like, for the past few months, I've been working with you so that you can achieve this. Why would I even? Anyway, my friend just looked at her and left it. So when I was venting to her, telling her about this thing, it's when she told me about people who actively try and sabotage your work when you're managing them. So be on the lookout for that as well. And with that, I've come to the end of my rambling on sabotage. Yes, so you're not grown until you realize you can be sabotaged in relationship, in friendships, in your workplace. So have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye.